Greetings and welcome to the Magic Day 7. Now this is pre-recorded, it's actually Saturday afternoon because I thought I might have a sleep in tomorrow, I don't know. So please do share. Let's see how many share it because I'm not asking all the time or just going, oh, thanks for sharing. So I'll be able to see how many people do. And who's got the bronze, silver and gold? I don't know. I'll come in. I might pop in today or it'll be tomorrow morning, but I'll be still awarding the bronze, silver and gold medals. So almost a week done. How are you finding it? So many messages from people saying they're really enjoying it. Some exercises are easy than others. Some you resonate with more than others. But some people, it really is making a difference. I'm listening to The Secret as well. I've got it on Audible years ago, and I'm just giving myself a refresher, and it matches this an awful lot. And it's just, I feel different again. I really do, and I'm more aware of other people's negativity. You know, when I'm speaking to them, when you overhear something and somebody's complaining, you know, you don't judge them, but you're very aware of it. So it's really odd, isn't it? How it's just, there's no, you know, I don't want to judge anybody because there's a lot to be complaining about at the moment, obviously. But it's not about not acknowledging that. It's all about putting yourself into a more positive mindset. So I'm hoping you're getting lots of good oomph out of it. So day 7, the magical way out of negativity. Are you sitting comfortably? You might still be in bed. You might have got up 7 o'clock thinking it's going to be live. I did say I might not do it live, then well done you. If it's 11 o'clock and you've got a stinking hangover, well done you for still watching it. So all on the catch-up crew this morning. Have you shared it yet? Come on, get it shared. So let's have a look. Bahu Lala said this in 1817. A thankful person is thankful under all circumstances. How good is that? Not just when you get a birthday card with a fiver in it, but a thankful person is thankful in all circumstances. Right, so this is the magical way out of negativity. Whether it's relationship in turmoil, financial pressure, a lack of health, or problems in a job, negative situations arise because of a lack of gratitude over a long period of time. Now, before you start having a go at me and at Rhonda, this is very similar to the money one where you think, hang on a minute, you're not telling me I've lost my job because I've not been grateful all my life. I lost my job because of COVID and everything's shut down. I totally get that. So just bear with, just bear with us. If we are not grateful for each thing in our lives, we are unintentionally taking those things for granted. And that's the difference, I think. Taking things for granted is a major cause of negativity because when we take things for granted, we are not giving thanks in return and we stop the magic happening in our life. Just as giving thanks to others will always lead to our life magically increasing, so must taking things for granted always lead to our life decreasing. I didn't read that very well, did I? But so it's not even a case of not being grateful, it's the case of taking things for granted. And hopefully just in this last 7 days you've noticed how much we all take stuff for granted, all of us. I'm not judging anybody, I'm not judging myself, so how we all take stuff for granted. We take the gift of movement for granted until we can't move. We take the rain for granted until we've had a 1976 summer and the grass is shite everywhere and we want the rain to come back. We take so much for granted, we really do, and it's just not noticing it. So are you grateful? Are you grateful for your health when it's good? Or do you only notice your health when your body gets sick or hurts? How true is that? Are you grateful for your job every day? Or do you only value your job when you hear there will be cutbacks? Are you grateful for your pay or salary every single time you receive it? Or do you in fact take your salary for granted? Are you grateful for your loved ones when everything is running smoothly? Or do you only talk to others about your loved ones when there are problems? I think we've all done that, haven't we? Are you grateful when your car is working well? Or do you only think of your car when it breaks down? Oh, my bloody car, it's going to cost a fortune. It's so close. It needs 2 new tyres and the clutch has gone. Jesus. Honestly, I'm not kidding you. when we were going through our worst financial time 5 years ago, and we were going through bankruptcy, the car, we'd had it from nearly new. It was a BMW estate, and we'd had it 15 years. And I loved it. I loved it like a child almost. Well, not quite, but I loved it. And when I was doing this, and it had just started to break down quite a bit, my car, but I was doing this, and I'm not kidding you, ever since I did this and read this chapter, I got into my car and I patted it on the top. I said, thank you for still working, thank you for not breaking down, thank you for just serving us all, because we only had one car, because we'd had to get rid of the other one, so we just had one car. And I just loved it. Literally, when it finally went, I actually cried when it was driven, when it was taken, because it's got us through so much, that old BMW. I just loved it. So I did. I used to hold my hands on the wheel and just go, thank you, thank you. It's madness, isn't it? People would think I'd lost my marbles talking to my steering wheel. So, because you bitch and moan when they break down, but do you actually thank them? Do you get in and go, oh, I love it, I love this car, I'm so grateful that I've got one, that it's working, that, the old Mini used to have, that used to pull the choker out. It is a choke, not choke, a choke. You used to pull it out, didn't you? And it used to come out in my hand. It'd stall at 60 miles an hour on the A6. You used to have to phone my dad up, can you come and get me? I've broken down. Do you remember all that sort of stuff that we had to do? MOT, can't afford it, so I can't drive it. Just used to forget to put the tax on, all that stuff. So I'm rambling anyway, never mind. You're probably in bed. So taking things, or are you grateful? No, are you grateful to be alive each day? Or do you take your life for granted? Taking things for granted results in complaining, negative thoughts and words. So when you complain, by the law of attraction, you must bring more things into your life to complain about. If you're complaining about the weather, the traffic, your boss, your spouse, your family, a friend, a stranger, waiting in lines, bills, the economy, the cost of something, or the service of a company, you are not being grateful, and you're pushing your dream life further away with every single complaint. It's impossible to be negative when you're grateful. And it's impossible to criticise and blame when you're grateful. It's impossible to feel sad or have any negative feelings when you're grateful. And the best news is that if you have any negative situations in your life currently, it won't take a long period of time to transform them with gratitude. The negative situations will disappear in a puff of smoke, just like magic. Now, that took some swallowing for me 5 years ago. I thought, are you having a laugh, Rhonda? It's going to take more than a puff of smoke to clear up this bloody mess. And so I do find myself sometimes really questioning it. But I thought, I've nothing to lose. And again, I believe it's all that the people who really think this is rubbish, because you get a lot of people who think it's a load of rubbish, the law of attraction and the secret and the magic, they think it's just not possible. But really all it's doing is putting you in a more positive mindset. And if you're in a more positive mindset by focusing on the good thoughts and being grateful, simply, that just feels a whole lot better than feeling shit and depressed and low and bitching and moaning about the weather. So that's the reason I do it. It's as simple as that, because it feels better to put yourself in that mindset. So if there's parts of it that you just think that's ridiculous, just think of it like that. First, as difficult as it may be, you have to look for things to be grateful for in the negative situation. No matter how bad things are, you can always find something to be grateful for, especially when you know that your gratitude will magically transform every negative circumstance. Walt Disney, who knew about the true magic of life, showed us how to do this in his film Pollyanna. I don't even know that one. Disney's 1960 movie Pollyanna featured the glad game, which had a profound effect on me, Rhonda Byrne. I'm not Rhonda Byrne, obviously I'm reading from her book. I just thought I'd mention that. When I was a child, I played the glad game featured in the movie through my childhood and adolescence. To play the glad game, you look for as many things as you can to be glad about, especially in a negative situation. Finding things to be glad about or finding things to be grateful for in a negative situation make the solutions appear. Because I often think, right, what have I got to be grateful for? And I can just stand in, I could find 100 things, just to be grateful. That rabbit with the little lantern that I've never been that keen on really in my garden, the stone one that my mum bought me, but I actually think it's really quite sweet and it reminds me of every time I look at her. The, what do you call them? Not hydrangeas, oh my God. The geraniums, they're still hot pink. All the other flowers have died off, but my geraniums are still tough and going, come on, I'm still here, winter. Have a bit of this. Bright pink gives me joy every time I see them. My Toyota Sundance, beautiful colour of pale green. I can see the sea from the house and I absolutely love being able to see the sea. And the grass is green, we managed to get it cut last week. So all the stuff, the sun's coming through the clouds, all the stuff to be grateful for. Now somebody else, and sometimes I do this, somebody else will go, what a bloody mess my garden is, I need to chop those agapanthus down. Look at that mucky puddle there and it's gone all funny. And all the soil's come out onto the path, so I'm going to have to do that. And that solar light's bloody broken and that lamp's blown over. And the garden furniture could do with a clean. I've still not planted those bloody violas. Oh my goodness, and look at all that salvia amistad, it's all fallen over. Even though it's got beautiful purple flowers on, you don't look at that, do you? You just look at the fact that it's fallen over. So it just becomes a habit. That bloody clematis is a mess now. It's beautiful in summer as well. And those hanging baskets need chucking. Oh, I've got so much to do in the garden. It's bloody awful. I don't know when I'm going to do it. Pissed off, bad mood. Simon, get mad at him because he never thinks to do the garden. He does it, he helps, but I always have to instigate it and that pisses me off. And now I can feel my whole energy's just changed because I've started thinking about the bad things in the garden. That's all the magic is about, is putting you in the mindset, in my opinion anyway, where you look for the good stuff. So, and that takes practice. So don't judge yourself if you're not doing it successfully yet. It takes practice and you're never going to do it all the time. Of course, I still come out and think, bloody hell, I've got that hanging basket to do. Ooh, of course I think that, so it's just practice. Right, let's have a look. Right, Buddha, listen to this, what Buddha said in 563 BC. I said once on my live video, how do they know what he said? Did they have a pen? Who wrote it down? Did they pass it on before he died to the next person? Have you not heard of Chinese whispers? He might have said something completely different to what I'm about to read you. It always fascinates me. Did they... I said on one live a few months, did they even have quills and ink in those days? 563 BC. Well, anyway, this is what he said apparently. They'll be switching off in the droves. Let us rise up and be thankful. For if we didn't learn a lot today, we at least learned a little. And if we didn't learn a little, at least we didn't get sick. And if we got sick, at least we didn't die. So let us all be thankful. Cheery little poem, that, Buddha, thanks. So let Buddha's words be your inspiration. I do love it actually. And today this is your task for today. We've finally got to the task. So let Buddha's words be your inspiration. Today take one problem or negative situation in your life that you want to resolve. So take one thing. That's all I want you to do, take one thing. And now you've got a bit of work to do, so it's a good job it's a Sunday. Write it in your journal or wherever you're writing it, this one thing. And look for, that's the one thing that you want to resolve, by the way, that's troubling you. And look for 10 things to be grateful for about it. I know it can be challenging, she says, to begin with this practice, but Buddha is showing you the way to do it. Make a written list of 10 things in your gratitude journal about that one thing that's troubling you. As an example, your problem might be that you're out of work and despite your best efforts, you're still unemployed. I mean, that'll be a lot of people at the moment, won't it? To magically turn this situation around, you have to do a concentrated practice of gratitude on the situation. Here are some examples of what you might say. So I'm just going to quickly read you some examples, because if you've just lost your job because the company that you're working for has closed down because of COVID and you've lost your job, you might think there's not a lot to be grateful for, because how the hell are you going to pay the mortgage? And I've been there, honestly, but I'm still here. So I'd rather go through the process again, knowing what I know now, than when I got made redundant years ago and all I did was get pissed. So, and feel sorry for myself. So what might you say if you've lost your job? I know this can be hard for people, but I'm just reading. I'm so grateful to have had more time for my family during this period. I'm grateful that my life is a lot better, in better order, because the spare time I've had to be able to do things that I've always wanted to do and not had time. I'm grateful that I've had a job most of my life and that I'm experienced because of that. I'm truly grateful that this is the first time I've ever been unemployed. I'm grateful that there are jobs out there and more new jobs are appearing each day. I'm grateful for all the things I've learned in applying for jobs and in going for interviews. I'm grateful that I have health and that I can work. I'm grateful for my family's encouragement and support. I'm grateful for the rest that I've had because I really needed it. And I'm grateful that through losing my job, I've realised how much having a job means to me, and I'd never realised I had taken it so much for granted until now. So that's 10 things that you can turn it around about losing your job. And I don't mean to be flippant. I mean, I do have a thing when she says new jobs are appearing all the time. I might have, it's a bit hard at the moment, isn't it? But, you know, it is what it is. And that's just me being negative on that point, because I do some of the points think, oh, that's a bit, you know. So as a result of the unemployed person's gratitude, they will attract different circumstances, and their current situation must and will magically change. The power of gratitude is greater than any negative situation, and there are unlimited ways that the negative situation can change. All you have to do is practice gratitude and watch the magic take place. So this is what they call concentrated gratitude, you know, getting 10 things about one negative situation. So that might not have resonated with you at all. So let's just try one more, she says, thinking it's my book. It isn't, it's Rhonda Byrne's The Magic. But, you know, I'm reading it to you. So imagine a son whose relationship with his father is troubled. So it could be you and your mum, it could be you and a friend, it could be you and your daughter, you know, whatever, you and your husband. Imagine one of your relationships is really troubled. So 10 things, what 10 positive things? I want you to do this. Don't just go, oh, that's very good, that, Sally. Yeah, thanks, it's really helpful. And then not do it. I want you to do it. I want you to promise that you're going to do these 10 things about one task. So I am grateful that most of the relationships in my life are really good. I'm grateful to my father for working hard so that I could have the education that he didn't get to have. So I've gone all shiny. Sun's come out. I'm grateful to my father for supporting our family through my childhood, because I didn't have a clue then how much hard work and money it took to keep our family going. I'm grateful to my father for taking me to basketball every Saturday when I was a child. I'm grateful to my father that it's not as tough on me these days as he used to be in the past. And I'm grateful because he cares so much about me, because he wouldn't be tough if he didn't care so much. I'm grateful that through my relationship with my father, I have learned to have compassion and a greater understanding with my children. I'm grateful for showing me how important encouragement is in raising happy, confident children. I'm really grateful when I get to laugh with my father. Some people never get to do that because they didn't have a father. And for others who have lost their father, they will never have the chance to laugh with their father again. I'm so truly grateful that I have my father, because amid the tough times, there have been good times, and there will be more good times ahead with my father. So that's just one about relationships. And as a result of the son's heartfelt feelings of gratitude for his father, he will change their relationship for the better. The son changed his way of thinking and how he feels about his father, which immediately changes what he attracts from his father. Even though the son was being grateful in his mind, at an energetic quantum level, the son's gratitude will have a magical effect on his relationship with his father, because it's a lot more focused. Provided he maintains his gratitude, by the law of attraction, the son must receive far better circumstances with his father, and their relationship will begin to magically improve. So listen to this bit. You might have fallen asleep now, or I don't know, it's been 19 minutes. At least I don't have to speak to you though. I don't have to interrupt myself. But I miss you, I'll be honest. I prefer lives. But I never used to do lives because I didn't have live, did this? So everything I used to do was recorded. Remember, you can tell your gratitude is working by the way you feel. That is so important. I love it. Remember, you can tell your gratitude is working by the way you feel. You should feel a lot better about the situation after practicing gratitude. The first evidence of gratitude's magical power working is your feelings lifting. So when you do feel better about it, you know the situation will improve and the solutions will appear. The answer to any negative situation you want to resolve is to focus concentrated gratitude on it until you feel better inside. Then you will see the magic work. It's wonder in the outside world. So when you do your written list, make sure you list each of the 10 things and say, I'm so grateful for my mother. I'm so grateful for my boss or for my sister or for my partner. And then say what you're grateful for. So I tend to do that a lot with Sam. And I notice that when I feel better, we get on better because I feel better. And when I'm practicing gratitude, and I've done it a lot within this week because I'm doing my lists, my gratitudes, and he's been on them a few times for different things. And I work upstairs and I came downstairs and I just went into his little office, which is the airing cupboard. And I'm not even joking. And he sat there and I just had to say thank you to him and what I was doing. And it was just lovely. And then he really appreciated that. And I was chuffed that he appreciated it. But that's because I'm being grateful. Usually I'll try and shout down. He'll have his AirPods in. I'm going, bloody knobhead, he's got his bloody AirPods in again. Simon. I have to come downstairs. You and your bloody AirPods. Da. And then the thing I was going to ask him about, I'm all irate and pissed off by then. And then he's pissed off with me. And then it's just a rubbish exchange. So that's just a little example. Mine anyway, not Rhonda's. They were big. So final challenge, and just for today, well, never mind just for today, we did this last Monday in the tribe and my membership. I set them the task for the whole week. It's called being impeccable with your word, but she doesn't call it that, but that's what we call it from the 4 agreements. So on just for today, see if you can get through one day. I'm just asking you to do one day without saying anything negative. It may be a challenge, never mind mate, so it'll be impossible for you, I bet you any money. But see if you can make it through one day. There is an important reason to do this because most of us have no idea how much we speak negatively, but you'll have an idea after watching your words for a day. Remember that negativity and complaint bring more of those things. And if you're aware of what you're saying, you can stop and decide if you want the consequences of what you're about to say. That includes thoughts and verbal things. You might be slagging the man off who didn't let you out at the end of the road in the car. You might have opened a door for somebody and they didn't say thank you, and that then you say in your head, bloody rude bugger. The birds might have shit on your garden fence and that pisses you off, or on your window after you've just washed them. The weather, it might be pouring down, you're just pissed off with the weather. Your back might be sore, anything, just anything negative. Now, for the people who've done this with me before, we've got a little lifeline. I love this. I'd forgotten about it. And I do tell people it's not about passing and failing. It's about creating that awareness of how often you do it. So, come on, right. Here is a magic lifeline. You can use it if you notice yourself thinking or saying something negative. Stop immediately and say, so when you say, oh my God, it's raining, oh, it's bloody awful, I'm going to go, oh, there, I'm saying it, I'm being negative. Stop immediately and say, but I have to say that I'm really grateful for the fact that I get to walk in the rain, the fact that I can see the rain, the fact that I can feel the rain, the fact that the rain keeps the grass clean. You don't have to do clean, green. I'm clean probably. But, you don't have to do them all. But so that's what I want you to do today, is to notice, absolutely notice. So take that magic lifeline with you. What a great way of looking at it. Take the lifeline with you. Anything that you feel negative that you're saying, even if you think it's a small thing, stop immediately. And it doesn't really have to reference that, but it helps if it does a thing. Bloody seagulls going round but I actually love watching them. I do. So I don't mind seagulls. even when they shit. But it's really odd because the neighbours over the road have loads of bird shit on the roofs. They obviously don't like this side of the street because they don't shit on our roof on this side. And I'm really grateful for that. I really am. So anyway, that's me, uninterrupted, 25 minutes. It'd have been about 40 if you lot had been with me. So week 1 done. Remember, it is not too late to share it. Please don't think your friends can't join in because we're going on to day 8 tomorrow. You know, we've got another 3 weeks of this shiz. How are you feeling after just 1 week? Who's looking forward to doing the videos each day? So share it, please share it. And it's not even with your friends. It might be your friends' friends. There could be Janice sat, just been furloughed, stuffing herself with hobnobs, thinking her life's finished, thinking she feels rubbish. Or, you know, she might hate her husband, or she thinks she does, and her children are doing her head in. And she's sat binge eating in a corner down in Watford, you know, and in a rented flat, and she thinks, what the hell have I got to bloody be grateful for? We might reach Janice if you share it. And I genuinely mean that, because I know it can make a difference to people if they just saw this one free video and think, do you know what, she might have a point, or they might think, who the hell's that pilot from up north? But anyway, I just thought I'd leave you that as an example. So let's get it shared to Janice. Janice, Julie and Tracy, they get it, don't they? They're just the names that pop into my head. All right then, so have a wonderful, wonderful day. It's Sunday. It's not really, it's Saturday, but for you it's Sunday. And I'm putting my Christmas garlands up this week, and not a tree because I get a real tree, but on the stairs and this fireplace, I'm going to put my garlands up. Why the hell not? Because I'm grateful that I've got a garland. I'm grateful that I get to see Christmas. All right then, so I will see you tomorrow, 7 a.m. I'll be back live. Ta-ra.